Good morning. Distinguished guests, customers and partners, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tommy Leong, Zone President of East Asia and Japan, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Schneider Electric's Innovation Summit 2018, where together we will explore, discuss, and create new opportunities for powering and digitizing the economy. It is an honor to have with us in this summit more than 2,000 customers from over 30 countries. We live in exciting times, with many countries around the world experiencing rapid urbanization, industrialization, digitization at an unprecedented rate, transforming geoeconomics, the competitive landscape, and sustainability concerns. And in Asia, where we are today, dynamic economies continue to lead global growth. With more than 50% of the world's population, Asia is fast becoming the center of gravity for these megatrends, building some of the most modern cities and advanced infrastructure while leveraging technologies to reduce pollution and emissions everywhere. At Schneider Electric, we are leading the digital transformation of energy and automation to ensure that life is on everywhere, for everyone, and at every moment. And to do this, we innovate at every level to develop digital technologies and solutions to help our customers make their businesses safer, more reliable, connected, efficient, and sustainable. Our operations in Asia do not just serve customers in the region. It is also a source of innovation and talent for our company worldwide. And Singapore is a key hub in our global supply chain network, serving 1.5 million customer order lines per year, receiving goods from over 168 suppliers, and distributing to more than 36 countries, with over 500 container loads every month. In addition, our new regional headquarters in Singapore is a live showcase of our EcoStructure architecture and solutions, where we totally renovated a 30-year-old building with our own technologies and innovations. By connecting products together, drawing on renewable energy sources, and managing them with advanced edge control platforms that feed into software platforms and analytics, we are able to manage the present and predict the future across multiple applications. And this will enable us to generate up to 40% energy savings versus our old buildings, with half coming from hardware and design and half coming from software and analytics. And it will also serve as a co-innovation hub by bringing together our people and partners to co-create digital solutions for the future. We also power some of the most iconic and critical infrastructure in the region, including this very venue, Marina Bay Sands, where we have installed both electrical distribution and data center solutions. Other examples, of course, include the world-renowned Changi Airport in Singapore, the famous Petronas Twin Towers in Kuala Lumpur, and another example is the East Water Pipe Network, Thailand's most advanced and efficient water pipeline at approximately 400 kilometers long. Some of these customers, and many more, have joined us here this week to share with you their experience with Schneider Electric and the advancements they have achieved. We have lined up an amazing program for you today, including 6 strategy talks where you can discover more about the innovative technologies that are shaping the future of energy and automation. 17 expert learning sessions with industry thought leaders, an interactive innovation hub where you can get hands-on experience with our latest technologies through 15 hub tours based on domains and segments. And finally, an executive IoT panel discussion hosted by CNBC. Please feel free to explore and join the sessions most relevant to you. You'll find everything you need to know in the Schneider Electric Events app. With that, I would like to once again welcome you to Schneider Electric's Innovation Summit and hope that you will enjoy the exciting program we have lined up for you. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. This is the way we wake up every morning at Schneider. We wait for Tommy's drums. They come from his home, and then we start to beat the drum, and everybody wakes up. Exceptionally this morning, I won't do the green circle, and I don't do that this morning. All right, you are too many of you. Well, welcome to the Innovation Summit. It's great to be in Singapore. It's great to be with so many people coming from so many countries. It's great to be with all of you, the customers, the partners of Schneider Electric. And I would like to pay a special tribute because today, not only in the room, we have customers and partners, but we have the key strategic suppliers of Schneider Electric. And I want to thank them because every day they participate to our performance and we see them as an integrative part of Schneider. And we want to be that to our customers and partners too. We want that the innovation that we produce is part of your daily performance. So it's really, really good every time I meet such a community of people. It's really a great way to discuss innovation and the future of our industry together. We feel also at Schneider very good at Singapore. Singapore defines itself as a smart nation, so smart cities, smart buildings, smart manufacturing, smart grid, of course, and a lot of data centers to manage the data. We feel very aligned with the agenda of Singapore. Well, personally, I live in Hong Kong, and for the people who are from that part of Asia, we had a quite scary weekend with the typhoon Mangust that hit the island. And I want to express here my sympathy, at least because I was part of the typhoon, to all the countries that were impacted by it. And especially if there are people of the Philippines who have the sad privilege in Asia to shelter most of the rest of Asia from many typhoons. And while I was preparing, and that was literally on Sunday at home, I was preparing this conference, I was thinking really, is there a better justification of what we do at Schneider than trying to prevent that those typhoons that come every year stronger and stronger due to carbon emission, climate change, global warming, is there a better justification to what we do than trying to prevent that this happens stronger and stronger every year? So I call this conference Powering on Digitizing the Economy. And actually, I should have called it Powering on Digitizing the Life of Everybody. And for a very simple reason. Power, let's say energy, is the foundation of life. And for all the people who live in countries where some people don't have access to energy, it's the foundation of a decent life. And digitizing is the foundation, and I would say probably the only path to efficiency and sustainability. On sustainability, on efficiency and sustainability, let's say, are the only way to a more decent planet without those climate disorders and those climatic problems and those polluted cities that we know today. So powering on digitizing the economy is our job at Schneider. What we do is to enable people to achieve more while using less of the resources. We want our customers to achieve their bold ideas, and we supply them the core of those innovations, of those bold ideas. We provide them with energy and efficiency integrated solutions. I should say digital solutions. That's what we do at Schneider. And I would dare to say that's what we do in this room, because we have another part of the DNA at Schneider which is super important, that we want to do things with partners. We supply the foundational architecture, the foundational platforms, but we want our partners who are the closest to customers, our customers who know the best their application, to deliver that innovation. And our job again are those energy and efficiency digital solutions which are the core of your innovation. So let's dive into the subject. And when you speak about power and digitizing, you say powering is a technology that was born at the beginning of the 20th century. It is more the past, and digitizing is the future. Well, I would just say the contrary. I don't know if anybody has teenagers, has kids in this room. Personally, I'm a Gen X. I'm a technology immigrant. I was born not in the digital technology, but I learned the digital. There are plenty of millennials around here. They were born in the technology, while the new generation is technology dependent. Right? If you have kids and you bring them to a place, they don't ask if there is electricity. They ask if there is Wi-Fi. And if there is no Wi-Fi, this place sucks, okay? So that's where we are. So we say at Schneider that digital is not the future. Digital is the present. And it's getting accelerated with what we do. The episode 1 of the internet was connecting people to people, 5 billion people connected together. And it totally transformed the way we live, we work, and we play together. The episode 2 of the internet is about connecting objects, things, the Internet of Things. And many, many more things will get connected to the internet, actually 10 times more than people. And those things speak more than people, so they create data. And because of technology, that data gets aggregated into big data. And on that amount of data, for the first time, is enabling machines to learn. And that level of learning is as good as the amount of data which is getting aggregated. So the good old digital, the Internet of People, is getting magnified, amplified, accelerated by what we do, which is developing the Internet of Things. And rather than speaking about it, I'd like to share about practical life and what our customers are doing digital. You think that digital is the future? Well, our customers, your peers, your competitors are massively using digital already. It is absolutely the present for them. So let's take this example of a hospital in Indonesia, in Riyadh, where you know that in a hospital the most important thing is reliability. Anybody who's been on a surgery room, I've been there a few times. You want reliability, you don't want efficiency at the first level. But here, we are speaking about 100% uptime. At the same time, because of digitization, there is still a plan of efficiency, which has been 100% completed. But with that, our customers, our partner here, the customer, the hospital, knows exactly what will happen. And being digitally plugged to everything in the hospital enable them to anticipate if there is any issue brewing inside the installation. Another completely different thing, and you would expect that from us, but welcome to Schneider Singapore. This is we live in Singapore in a 20 years building, so we are speaking about a pure retrofit, not optimized building, where we've deployed all of our EcoStructure on all of our advisors. 40% electricity consumption reduction due to digitization, therefore to efficiency, but also to the massive use of renewable on the microgrid. We are taking out today 1,600 tons of carbon per year, which is taking out close to 400 cars from the streets on avoiding pollution. And I like to say that proudly, we've been qualified as the first Green Mark Platinum building as a retrofit building in Singapore, so a landmark in the green history of Singapore. Moving on to Korea with a machine manufacturer. You are speaking about packaging machines here. And Unga has been using the augmented operator advisor, so augmented reality, to really allow more capabilities to its users and customers. And that gives 10 to 20% of productivity and efficiency for customers from the commissioning into the installation, into the operation of the machine, and more on the better asset utilization. And really, frankly, it's a completely different experience to operate the machine because you can enter the machine without opening the machine. So getting big insights on what is happening. Moving on to the Pacific, to down under, to Australia with Roy Hill, a well-known company in mining, which has digitized the whole of its installation with our software studio connected into our controls. The first benefit here was reducing the time from first ore to shipping by 1/3, which means many months of time to the market, which is, of course, very important. Increasing the capacity of the production, improving also the supply chain efficiency. And that also allows Roy Hill, operating in such a large territory as Australia, on having, like all of us, issues of finding very strong competencies in everything they do, being able to remote control their mine sites from 1,000 plus kilometers, and having their best specialists in one place that can help the people on the ground to operate better the mines. Then moving on to Thailand with the SuperNAP data center, which is an associated company of Switch. This is one very high level data center. And here, SuperNAP guarantees 100% uptime to tenants with many things, but also because everything is connected, everything is digitized, the full chain of connectivity. And because of that, you know that data center is today the highest density of energy per square foot on Earth. Today, the fastest growing consumption on Earth in electricity is IT and data centers. And by digitizing very precisely what is happening and using an integrated architecture, they reach 30% of operational efficiency. And I think Sunita Botse is with us today. Thank you for coming here and being with us. And I'd like to finish examples of digitization with to a different scale with Naya Raipur in India, which is the first of the plan of smart cities of Premier Modi that was inaugurated a few months ago. And with that, they use, and we use our platform to integrate all the functions of the smart city. Actually, Naya Raipur uses our platform for that. We operate the smart grid, we operate the smart water. When we say we, our customers based on our platform, smart buildings, and other companies are plugging into the platform so that the city has an integrated digital platform to operate all the operation. First one of the whole Indian plan of smart cities. Very, very proud of that. So that's about digital, and digital is the present. And you have the impression that electricity probably is something that has been existing with us for a long time, but I've got news for you, which are good news for Schneider Electric, is that on the partners of Schneider Electric, is that electricity will be accelerating a lot in the next years. And there are many reasons to that. The first one is that electricity is not an energy, but it's a vector of consumption of energy. But this is the only one that, one, allows decarbonation through renewable, for instance. And the second one, this is the only vector of consumption of energy which can really mingle easily with digital and with control. And this is a reason why you're going to see electricity accelerating as we go forward. A few elements here. Of course, renewable getting cheaper and cheaper and getting closer and closer to the point of consumption. The whole chain of energy, centralized generation, transmission, and then distribution and then consumption will be kind of repacked into decentralized points of consumption closer to the point of consumption. And the costs are going day by day cheaper and cheaper to put not only renewable close to you, but also renewable and storage, dealing with the problem of intermittency of energy, and saving a lot on the infrastructure. The second point, of course, is the IT exponentially driving consumption. And we see that IT will become the biggest electricity consumption as we go forward. And finally, we are just at the beginning of the transition of vehicles, of electric mobility, of mobility to electric from a combustion engine. And that will be the biggest energy migration known by our industry in the past 100 years. Today, mobility represents 30 to 40%, according to countries, of energy consumption. And it's not difficult to imagine that in the future, this will massively transition to electricity. Some countries have already decided that there will be no combustion engine in their territory in 20 years. 20 years is really tomorrow when you see the size of this industry and the place of automotive in our daily life. So electricity is going to be big, and it's going to be different. So a few examples there again, rather than speaking theories. One thing that we've done in Singapore, which is a pilot, it's an island isolated from the grid that was only powered by fossil fuels, and we did together with NTU and NG, another company, a pilot of microgrid, cost of energy reduced by 27% using renewable, operating costs reduced by almost 40%, fossil fuel use reduced by 66%. 1/3 of the time, the island is working fully, operated fully on renewable. Of course, carbon footprint much better. Case here, Meralco in the Philippines. Big network operator in difficult conditions. As you can imagine, in the Philippines, it's a large territory, a large population, 6.5 million people are served by Meralco. They are operating a huge network, I think serving more than 30 cities, 75 municipalities, 700 medium voltage substation, more than 100 HVMV substation. And of course, the Philippines are hit, as I was saying before, by storms every year. So you have to, well, the system is managing more than 250,000 events an hour. And Meralco is managing that level of complexity thanks to digitization. In pretty adverse conditions, I have to say. Great job done there. And what we see here is that you can't disconnect energy and digital, power and digital. They go together because the only way to run digital is to have a very reliable and available energy immediately. Take the data center. When virtualization is moving packs of computing, blocks of computing from one server to the other one, the energy consumption is ramping up very fast, and the energy system has to track those moves of computing. And at the same time, the only way to make energy much more reliable and much more efficient is to get it connected and digitized. And both systems are knowing today a big migration or a big combination between centralization, which in the field of energy is a grid, and which in the field of digital is a cloud, and a movement back to the edge, closer to the applications, because of latency, because of reliability, because of saving on infrastructure, going into the field of energy into decentralized generation, microgrids, very local points of generation, and going into digitization, and you hear everybody in IT speaking about that, a move back to the edge because you need a much quicker time of reaction, you need much shorter latency, and you need to be able to control things which are happening very locally. On the top of it, more and more users are becoming really wary that their stuff is back on the cloud, so they want it on site to be able to own their data in real time. And we at Schneider are working on the permanent interaction of power on the grid to accompany those movements which are not coming from us, but which are coming from you, because this is what you need in your business to be more competitive. So what is our job at Schneider? I spoke about it. Our job, I would say, if you summarize it, is to make sure that life is on everywhere for everyone and at every moment. And what we do is really to bring solutions of power, energy, and digital together, because I already explained it. These are the foundation of life, and these are the foundation of efficiency and sustainability. So last year, this is a picture last year. Already last year seems to be very remote, but we are a company that has a turnover of 25 billion euro, more than $30 billion if you convert the currencies. 5% devoted to R&D, 10,000 people working in pure development of technology, and already almost 50% of our business coming from the digital world, connected products, controls, and software. One thing to mention here is that, not surprisingly, because Asia is more than 50% of the world population, because Asia is a center of gravity of urbanization, industrialization, and digitization. Asia has become our largest region in the world, and already for a few years. Therefore, 45% of the Schneider people are in Asia. And this is why I live in Asia too, because that development has been extremely fast on the back of those evolutions. So you're going to be 2 days with us, and you're going to hear every minute about EcoStructure. If you don't hear about EcoStructure, that means you are on the wrong floor. You've lost yourself. So take the escalator, come back to this floor. This is the EcoStructure floor. On EcoStructure, because we are a tech company, people summarize it sometimes to a technology, a platform, but I would say it's 4 elements. It's a platform, it's an expertise, it's a community, which is probably the most important thing, and it's a set of lifecycle tools. So short brief about EcoStructure, and I won't dwell on it because you already know it if you are close to Schneider, and you're going to hear so much about it that you don't want me to start with a detailed presentation of it. But EcoStructure is a plug-and-play platform made of 3 layers. One, connected products, means at this layer we have a very strong principle that our products can be connected to our controls, but they can be connected to anybody else's control. We want our customers to be able to choose. So we systematically choose open standards to develop that connectivity of connected products. One thing that I want to mention is the Internet of Things starts with good things. There is no customer that comes to us saying, I want the Internet. That doesn't work. They want efficiency. They want performance. They want reliability. That is the value they are looking for. And Schneider has been really specialized in doing world-leading products, so connected products are still world-leading products of Schneider. The Internet of Things starts with excellent things. Second layer is controls, because customers want to have real-time control of their installations with no latency, and at this level we have very dedicated controls for each domain that we cover. On second point, no customer want to be dependent on a connection to the cloud. And they want operators on the shop floor to be able at every minute to take back control of what they are doing. So making sure that we are not cloud dependent and making sure that people stay on the top of everything is the reason of that very strong edge control layer. Third layer is everything linked to analytics, software, application, AI, that gives sense to all the data that we are putting together. And all of this is supported by one cloud architecture that can be chosen by our customers or that we can take care of, that we can integrate, and therefore the customer can just have the service, focus on what they want to do. On cyber security services, because of course the first thing that everybody is focused on is the security of connected systems. I would argue that connectivity gives a better cyber because at least you know what is happening, but it has to be managed properly. So take a few examples. Well, maybe if I come back to the theory of the case, well, we have 6 EcoStructure: power, building, IT, machine, plant, and grid that can be combined together for one end market. And if I move to a practical example, like the data center, typically, and we saw a few examples already, we would put together EcoStructure, power, building, and IT into one integrated solution. Go back to real life, the Pulse near Brisbane, and you are speaking about a pretty hot place when you are on this part of Australia. It's a tier 3 regional data center, plus 15% of asset utilization thanks to digitization, on a PUE inferior to 1.2. So very good energy performance. Going to move to the next one. Right. Second point of EcoStructure, expertise. when we move in our sectors, which are industrial sectors, which are mission-critical sectors, digitization cannot be just about technology. And we learned it somewhere the hard way at Schneider. When we started proposing digital architectures to our customers, first step in 1997, for those who've been with Schneider for the past 20 years, that was called Transparent Factory. And then the first version of EcoStructure, that was in 2009, customers say, well, technology is great, but please understand my application. I don't want technology for technology. I want technology to resolve my problems, my issues, and to get better. So during the past 10 years, we created a capacity, an expertise, segment by segment, to accompany our customers and try, humbly, to speak the same language. It's been a huge journey for us. It means that Schneider tripled size, and that at that time we are mostly delivering products to our customers. Today we deliver products and solutions to our customers. But we've developed capabilities in oil and gas, in mining and minerals, in food and beverage, wastewater, buildings, utilities, cloud, and machines. And we never do those. But we want to be part of that dialogue where we can help our customers and our partners to deliver better performance and to innovate. And that drives us to the notion of community. We see EcoStructure as an open ecosystem. And we have today, around EcoStructure, some people have had a late revelation about the Internet of Things. They have been speaking about the Internet of Things for the past 2 or 3 years. We've been talking about it and working about it for the past 20 years. So as we speak, we've got already 500,000 sites which are deployed based on Ethernet as a protocol and as a standard of communication. We've got 20,000 developers and integrators working on EcoStructure every day on bringing new applications and new capabilities on it. We've got 3,000 utilities that work on our digital platform to connect to people who are connected to EcoStructure and propose the best value proposal to those customers who try to save not only on energy, but buy the best kilowatt hour, the greenest and possibly the cheapest to operate, and the most reliable to operate the operation. And we've got 650,000 plus service providers and partners that work together with EcoStructure and integrate those solutions. And we welcome more people, but more so than the number of people who want more deep integration and participation in the way we work together on that platform. We work, of course, with technology partners that help us bring their brick of capability, of technology to what we do. And we have a very simple principle at Schneider. We don't want to develop what the others have developed. We want to focus in the places where we really bring value. So see those technologies partners as a deliberate choice to try to do very well what we are good at doing and not to do what the other guys are better at doing. We have today 1.6 million assets under management. That means assets which are connected on the cloud managed by Schneider. That doesn't mean that we own that data, but we host that data and we manage that data for the sake of our customer. And that has been growing 25% last year. Actually, as I speak now, we are more ramping up to 30%. One example to give you, to illustrate what a community means. This is an example in a Song Hong Kai building in Hong Kong, but we've got plenty of those cases where the customer wanted a privileged relationship with a system integrator and wanted still to use their own software and the software of that system integrator. So EcoStructure being open, they use the level 1 and level 2 of EcoStructure and plugged the software of that system integrator, that software provider, into EcoStructure. And as we go forward, we want to have more of that, and we've created a platform which is called Exchange, which is in beta today, to make sure that we connect communities of developers, of users together, so that there is a wide offering of application around EcoStructure. Finally, Lifecycle tool. I spoke about digitization as a way to connect products, as a way to connect systems, but actually the real experience has to be fully digital from the initial idea to the commissioning of the systems. And this is where you get the best productivity and best capability from digitizing your installations. So we see a world where, which is a real world, we see a world with you every day where the problem is to optimize the CapEx, but then for most of you, 80% of the spending is on the OpEx side, On our industry, to be fair, has been spending a lot of time on the CapEx part of the equation, trying to sweat out every part of that CapEx spending, just forgetting that 80% of the spending, it can be energy on the OpEx, is happening after. And actually, more and more, your customers will be challenging you, will be challenging us on the OpEx side. What will be my carbon footprint? What will be my energy consumption? What will be my cost of operation of something? So good news is that as things are becoming digitized, that OpEx phase is getting accurately measured by every customer, and people are legitimately so much more sensitive to what is happening after the initial phase. And suddenly we think more holistically about the whole life cycle of our installation. On our side, we want to offer you one chain of digital tools that integrates everything from design to build into operation and maintenance. So you probably followed that this year we created a new company called Aviva in the industrial sector. In the industrial, and this is, I'm focusing here on the industrial side, where with one complete integrated suite of software, we go from the 3D design of pretty large infrastructures that includes refineries, chemical plants, big infrastructure, wastewater treatment plants, into operations, and avoiding that loss in translation that we have in the old way of designing that was happening between the 3D model of the design and the model of operation. Transitioning smoothly and without blip the digital model from the design part into the operation part. That's the practicality of it. We've created now this company, which actually we've kept listed in the UK, which has a life of itself. The Aviva software company that opens and offers a whole suite of software from A to Z. And of course, at Schneider, we work every day with Aviva to offer a full EcoStructure value proposition, inclusive of that level 3, that software, but also of controls on connected products. Same thing in energy management, which is 70% of Schneider, medium voltage, low voltage, secured power, completely integrated in the same range of tools, in the same lineup of tools, from design to operation. And the more we go with products like MTZ that has been launched in a few geographies, the more the products will be completely uploaded and downloaded of software from that chain of digital tools, making every work from commissioning, parametering, installation, and commissioning much simpler than it is today. So, powering and digitizing the economy for what? At the end of the day, again, customers don't come to us for technology. They come to us for value. And what we see already from that 50% of our business that we do in digital is that it brings value in energy efficiency. We spoke about the building of Schneider in Singapore at 40% energy efficiency, 30% energy efficiency. When you work hard on it, on existing buildings or existing installations, you can aim for 65%. That means you can really cut hard on your bill, on your energy consumption. Productivity, 50%. One thing which is completely underestimated is the capacity to avoid accidents, doing predictive maintenance, avoiding that operators, thanks to augmented reality, put their hands in a machine for maintenance, but get 80% of the diagnosis with a digital image of it. We see it as a major vector of increasing the people's safety on the shop floor. And of course, sustainability. And many people speak about sustainability, but take Schneider, we've committed to be carbon neutral in 2030. We've committed to be 100% powered by renewable by 2030. We've committed to be 50% more energy efficient, and I tell you, we've been working on it already for a long time, by 2030. Are we alone? No. We are in the first movement part of more than 100 companies that have decided to do it. In the case of the RE 100, several hundreds of companies that have decided to do it. And in the case of productivity, part of the several hundred companies that have committed to do it. And you know what? To do that, we have to work with companies who have taken the same commitments. And we sell to customers who are taking the same commitment. So it's a kind of global movement, whatever our politicians say, which is happening and which is accelerating. So people in this room might say, yeah, but it's another thing, it's going to be cost, it's going to be complicated, it's going to be difficult. And the reality is that it's not really that difficult, because you are not so far away from a connected company. Actually, most of what you operate today is already connected. But what it is not put together into one repository. So what we have to do collectively, and that makes a lot of progress immediately, is to connect the connected. Take every machine which is already digitized and connected, but still independent and autonomous, make sure that it's connected to a cloud where you can aggregate the data, put the things together, and run analytics on new functionalities that give you access to the next level of competitiveness. And what it allows you to do is to go from reactive to proactive, going from curative maintenance to predictive maintenance, with much less people. Actually, I think a problem that you have today, for instance, in buildings, is that people in charge of maintenance spend a lot of time trying to look for faults or for problems. If things are connected, which is a minimal cost, they can go straight to the right place with the right tool, with the right spare part, and even better, they can prevent the incident because they see that there is a drift and there is a problem brewing in this part of the installation. It allows you to go on-site and to be mobile or remote. That means to get your best specialists in one place that everybody will benefit from, and to get your operator on the shop floor with augmented reality and getting much more information about what is happening, give them more elements. It allows you to manage your company not side by side, like each site is managed independently, but to benchmark your site, to get that people are learning from each other. And finally, because you have all that data, it allows you to run analytics on modules of software that bring new values to your company. And it's already here. Again, connecting your connected doesn't take a big investment and makes your all connected enterprise available very fast and very soon to you with not that much investment. Then you've got already a catalog of advisors. Advisors in the jargon of Schneider are all the modules on the level 3 that gives you a very special added value. We decided not to do it integrated because that would force our customers into one suite of software, but to do it by values, and you can pick them a la carte. You can really go step by step, one by one, to choose what you want to adopt, which means the digital adoption progressive and truly adapted to your need. Two examples of that, what we do with Blackstone, which has a big real estate park, probably one of the biggest in the world, and they manage all sustainability of their buildings based on our systems of connectivity, but more so our repository for resources. And what we do with Capgemini in India to manage their huge network of data centers which allows them to manage our time and their efficiency. So That's what it is. That's what you're going to see and you're going to be talking about in the next coming 2 days. It's powering on digitizing the economy. It's going into the next stage of energy development and electricity development. It's leveraging fully the possibility of the Internet of Things, big data, and artificial intelligence to manage better our facilities, our companies, our factories. So I really thank you again for being with us over the next 2 days. I really ask you to be very direct in your questions, to really confront our visions of our industries, and let's innovate together into this Innovation Summit of Singapore. Thank you all.